Many thanks to Felix Traction Squad, Clash Vendors servers, Southern Pepper servers, Sea of Tools Cloud, Sovereign RP server, the Struggle Community, the Karma Crew servers, Dots, Designful, Friendly DayZ podcast, and the Settlement for making this video possible. The DayZ devs have given us an early Christmas present by releasing actual gameplay footage of the new motorbikes going around the track. So I'm going to be going frame by frame to show you exactly what these bikes are made of, go over a powerful new weapon that's coming with Badlands, and my prediction for the exact month in 2026 that Badlands will release. Now, we were already given a tease in the first bike trailer that we got here, but this was made in a 3D editing program, but now we have the first full gameplay look at what these motorbikes can do, and so far they are looking extremely promising. First up, we have a close-up of the Jana off-road bike, but this is the exact same model that's from the game files that we saw many moons ago, and the devs did say that the handling, simulation, animations, and many more are a work in progress, so this isn't the full, complete version of motorbikes, so this probably isn't the final model of the bike either. With that said, the model says 70 km per hour at a maximum, and based on the speeds that we saw in the gameplay footage, that's probably accurate, with the moped here appearing to be much slower than off-road, or it just gets whipped past, potentially meaning that this is a 50cc engine moped. To clarify here, this motorbike race was set up by the devs in the game. Someone built this course and 4 different devs are driving these bikes around Electro to show them off. Even at the start line, we can see some cool animations such as a kickstart animation here for the moped, which is probably the same or a similar animation for the off-roader too. So you're going to see an animation with your leg in order to start these up. They're also standing while they're in the idle position here rather than magically balancing on the spot, and while we don't see them lift up their legs at the start of the race when they start moving, later in the race you do see the legs lower back down when the bike becomes slow enough. You can see here the legs are going down, and there's even a walking animation for when the bike is rolling slow enough but not fast enough to pick up your legs. This is a really cool touch. Another nice touch are the animations while moving, such as cornering. Your character would lean and your bike would lean slightly with you, and you kick up more dirt on turns. So when you're going around corners, your bike is going to naturally kick up more dirt. When heading into a ramp, the suspension lowers like it should, and the airtime looks realistic for the speed they're going here. Given the bikes are very weighty look to them, they're not going to be like GTA bikes where you can fly 400 meters. You're going to come back to earth very quickly on these bikes. Upon landing, the character will lean forward and bend their elbows as if they're absorbing the shock of hitting the ground with a lot of force. So from all of this, it looks like they're really focused on the small details to make these bikes look realistic and feel realistic too, with again, this being a very early build, so it can only get better from here. This is looking really good so far. With that said though, there was some classic DayZ jank, such as the wheels going into the floor when they hit the floor, and the wheels going through the fenders when they're hitting a ramp, and the bike spinning a bit unrealistically here. This wouldn't happen in real life. You would come off this bike. It seems like the bikes in this trailer are sliding a bit. This bike here crashes into this one, and it causes the other bike to spin out as if it has no grip or its wheels are made of glass or something. This would certainly result in someone coming off the bike in real life, so we can only assume that crashing or coming off your bike is something that's planned for the future, or maybe not at all. This could be why they didn't show the landing of this badass attempt at a backflip, which certainly didn't result in landing on the wheels. You just don't have enough airtime here, so we'll have to wait and see if crashing or coming off your bike is possible in the future. This gameplay bike teaser is a prelude to the dev blogs that are starting in a few months' time. We're going to get regular updates from the devs very soon about Badlands, and now that they've told us when they're starting these dev blogs, and they've previously said that 5 to 6 months is how long the dev blogs will last before release, we can work out when Badlands will arrive, so in around 8 to 11 months from now, most likely September or October 2026. My guess is that they're going to release a Badlands pre-patch on experimental in September, and then they're going to fully release it to everybody in October, as this lines up nicely with what they said so far, and Frostline released on October 15th, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's within a few weeks of this date, or basically October 2026. As for 1.29, they're trying to release it for January 2026, but this most likely will be the middle of February instead, and middle of February is usually when they release the first update of the year when it comes to stable releases, so I'm expecting experimental 1.29 to release a few weeks into the year. Also on stream, they teased a new weapon coming with Badlands, stating that it's a British weapon that was used in the game before, which may include a weapon from the DayZ mod era, along with saying that it's not the Lee Enfield, so it's not that weapon, and the files for this weapon still exist in the game files. Because I'm British, I'd like to get your opinions on which weapons it could potentially be, with my predictions being the L85, L96, or if I'm going full speculation mode, maybe even the AS50, with another hint from the devs suggesting that it belongs in Badlands, so was likely made in England during the Soviet era and used in the Middle East. The final bit of info we got from the stream was about the DayZ dev team growing so large now that Bohemia Interactive is building a new office next to DayZ HQ, and this building will be dedicated to DayZ development, with some very exciting stuff coming next year, Badlands being the most complex map that they've ever created, but other than that they didn't share any additional info as to exactly which features are going to be coming with Badlands or even next year, so we'll just have to wait and see. You can read this article yourself with the link below, which is also where you're going to find a link to the Motorbike gameplay teaser. This does have sound, but I couldn't play the sound because of the music. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.